Okay, this is Cosmos. We've been talking about the fact that our mind is the pure energy, is the pure self. I'll get into more details about the fact that we have the ability to astral travel. We have the ability to actually control matter. It's like the fact that mind over matter concept. To give you an example, like for instance, you notice that the mind controls the physical body. When you move your hand, you can sit there right now and you can think, move my finger. You think, move my finger. You think, move my toes. Now, what you can get from this information, basically, if the mind is able to move your fingers, your toes, your eyelids when you want to close and open your eyes, the mind is sending energy, even though it's from the neural network system, electromagnetic energy, as far as the electricity is, associated with the body. And like I said before, electrons, you notice electrons are associated with the periodic chart in the elements. You notice the different electron shells of energy. The main point is to give you the fact that energy from the mind has the ability to communicate with the atomic level of things. Once you understand those things in the way I'm talking about it, you'll see how the relation between thought and energy extends itself throughout infinite time and space, which one of our biggest connections is the fact that the electromagnetic spectrum is a huge factor connected with our particular mind. And to give you where I'm trying to go, the direction, the reason we are able to astral travel and we are able to be in more than one place at one time, for instance, in pure energy, because our external senses are more potent when we are aware and not sleep. That causes us to be limited to our concentration, to be aware of how far the extension of our electromagnetic conscious mind is. And someone asked about the idea of dreams. Someone mentioned that sometimes they die a lot in their dreams. Well, the mind is just simply trying to show you that the body is just a container. And even when we die, mainly what happens is our time that we intend to spend here has been fulfilled, and the energy of our pure consciousness is ready to go on its next journey. Because like I said, the mind is pure energy. So since we know that energy is never destroyed, it only changes, and we know that our mind is on its own. Each one of our minds is on its own individual frequency, which means that your mind has already exists forever and will always exist. Your consciousness is just that this is the experience that you're going through in this world. But to get into a lot of different things, there's a whole lot I want to cover, but I can't cover it all in this one particular video that I'm doing right now. But I'm just covering some of the little elements associated with energy in our conscious mind, because remember, the universe is a huge infinite thing. If you look at some of my other tapes, you understand that. And one thing I want to bring to your attention is that we are entities that are from the higher intelligent level. In other words, we'll just exist in this world temporarily, just to experience things so we can advance ourselves. Now, to give you an example to prove that there is a higher consciousness, you see, the idea of God, you can throw that away. Entities has existed forever. We've existed forever because our conscious mind is pure energy, and energy is never destroyed. We are a part of the society, the intelligent society that created this world. We're experimenting in this world right now on the plane that we exist in our physical flesh in order to go through the adventures that we select in our individual desires. But just to give you an example, proof, like how religion is always talking about, we believe there's a God, we believe this, believe that. I don't have to believe that there's higher intelligence, because I can tell you a fact that proves that they're higher intelligence, and we are part of that, remember, because we are part of the celestial energy, which is the sun itself. I'll explain things in another tape about the sun and what it's doing to this earth, which, if you notice, the earth spins around the sun, and it's almost like a DVD that plays. If you notice a DVD play, it has a laser that picks up the lands and pits off of the surface of the CD and create images, where the sun is the one that's projecting this earth and other planets. It is the reason it's on an atomic level, a higher level. It's projector. That's why if you notice, the earth has to circle around like a CD circles around on your player in order for the signals. But the sun is sending out those solar flares. And if you notice how every season plants grow again. That's from photosynthesis. The sun causes plants to grow because the sun is projecting the realities of what we have here. That's why the earth had to spin in a circle. I'll get into that in another take, but I want to finish what I was trying to say about the mind and the fact that I was trying to explain that I know there's proof that there's higher intelligence. We are from a higher society. There's an infinite amount of intelligent beings that we are associated with, in which we are just on this plane temporarily. And to give you that fact, here it is. The thorns, a rose. What's on the rose? Thorns. Thorns didn't accidentally get on the rose. Remember, thorns are instruments. When you put your hand, if you grab a rose, the thorns will stick you on the hand. Now, who created that? Even though we didn't create it on this material plane, it was a higher intelligence. Only could have completed creating something like that. You can clearly see it was created in order to keep the plant that can't protect itself safe. The thorns on the rose. So since you see thorns are instruments that stick you in your finger, and you know the rose didn't create it, you know it was a higher intelligence that created that instrument, because it's a form of beauty. A rose is a form of beauty. So that's why the higher intelligence put the thorns on it, in order to show that it is a higher intelligence behind the creation of this material world, which we are creators from that creation.